Hi, welcome to Maintain Me's Denver Senior Resource Channel. I am Morgan Jenkins and I'm the director of Maintain Me.
And hi, I'm Chelsea Sweeney. I'm the nurse and owner of Maintain Me.
So today, rather than talking about topics specifically, we thought we would help you get to know who we are a little bit better and where did we get all this expertise that we're bringing you all this knowledge from and how does it apply today? So we are going to be interviewing Chelsea today to learn a little bit more about her and her background. So we hope you enjoy it. And we'll go ahead and get started. Okay, so first question, Chelsea, what brought you into this career?
Okay, I think the simplest way to say this is when I was working as a nurse in the hospital, one of the things I'd worked on the observation unit. I had worked on cardiac and I worked on med surg. And one of the things that was a trend as a hospital case manager was seniors readmitting into the hospital after a discharge within 30 days. And in that process, I would be heavily, giving the families tons of resources, pretty much everything that they needed to be successful after discharge in paper format, but very little hands-on support because there was really nobody to hand it off to. So even though there were transition companies at the time, there wasn't a lot of medical background, there wasn't a very clear understanding as to the role and that continued care system. And so when these people started readmitting back into the hospital, I saw a need of somebody being out there to just hold their hand through it. And it's a really complicated process. And it's also really emotional. And so as soon as I saw that little tiny window of opportunity, I was like, I think I could fill that space and just started building from there.
Oh, awesome. That's a great history. Okay, thank you. The next question. Tell us about the roles you have performed along your career path.
Oh, geez. Okay. I'll try not to make this too long. I've had a lot of different, places that I've grown, which is crazy. I haven't been I think Maintain Me is probably the longest I've ever been anywhere, to be honest, but I'll make it quick. So I started in home care. I was a caregiver. I had my CNA, my certified nursing assistant certification, and I took care of people while I was going through nursing school. And one of the people that I was taking care of had admitted to the hospital and then ended up in an LTAC, a long-term acute care hospital. And that was my first exposure to the hospital world outside of home care. And I just loved it. I loved all the different skills that you can learn and all of that. So I went from home care into an LTAC or long-term acute care hospital as a CNA. And then when I was there, I saw a bunch of different roles that I was interested in. So I became a telemonitor tech. So I monitored heart strips. I then became a unit secretary there to answer phones, submit orders, all that, all in the meantime of getting my nursing degree. And then as soon as I got my nursing degrees, I'm a registered nurse, I started as a nurse in this long-term acute care hospital. So I just kind of stayed there for the rest of the time and worked my way up. One of the things that I was really interested in was case management because I would be part of these interdisciplinary meetings together, and the case manager would come in and she was kind of just like a awesome puzzly problem solving role that I just thought was super awesome and a lot of things that I didn't know. And so when she decided to leave, I asked her, I said, is this something that I could apply for? Because I want to learn. Obviously I'm brand new, so I don't know what that looks like, but I'm willing to give it a chance if you are. Unfortunately, I didn't get that job, but the case management director who had left went into a home health care company and was part of the acquiring of this home health care company. So in that process, she called me up one day. I didn't get that job, so I kept working as a nurse. I just didn't have enough experience. But she called me, she said, listen, we just acquired this home healthcare company through this big system. I would love to hire you on as a case manager. we'll fly you to Florida and teach you this continued care model. And I want you to implement it here in Denver. And I was like, oh my gosh, okay. Like, I don't have experience. She's like, it's okay. Like, we'll teach you everything. Like, you have the drive and I know you want to learn. And I think you'll be great for this role. So I did. I flew to Florida. I became a case management director, so to say, clinical manager for a home health care company. And that was really good. Like, working as case manager was awesome. I worked with all the hospital case managers. And then I just got an opportunity one day to move from home health, which was owned by the hospital system, and then moved into a case management role in the hospital. So I was able to kind of move up into that role and actually get into an acute care setting again. And then from there, I loved it. I would have stayed probably at Lutheran forever. But I kind of had topped out. The only available position above that was a case management director. And they had just hired somebody brand new into that role. And so when I saw this opportunity, and of course my drive to be a mom, and what that looked like for my involvement and being in the hospital, I decided to make the leap and open Maintain Me. So, you know, I've started from the very bottom. And I think that's really helpful, especially like when you're managing others, to know what it feels like to, you know, work really, really hard as a caregiver and do all of it, you know, and then go all the way up and manage the caregiver. So I'm very blessed for the journey that I've had.
Awesome. That was a wonderful answer. Thank you.
It's long. I'm like, how do I get
No, it's good. It's all the steps, and it's a journey, it's a path. And I think those many hats really shaped you. So thank you for sharing. Okay, the next question. What is your favorite part about your role now?
Oh, let's see. I think honestly, the thing that I love the most now is supporting the team. You know, when there's an issue or we need to be creative and create, you know, new programs to go with the time, like that is where I really thrive, is to, you know, when my team will be like, hey, you know, this is what's going on. You know, I think there's an opportunity, and like that creation space is just awesome. It also, you know, in my role now, I can jump into my territory and still work the field. And I have that flexibility to do what I love on a regular basis. And then when I'm ready to jump back in and be with these families and help these seniors through this aging process, like I have the flexibility to do both. Having a team is really, it's really helpful to help you like step up and to like learn, continually learn and be flexible and understanding. And so those are like really great challenges for me as a leader. I've done kind of all the rest of the stuff. And so every single day is like this continual challenge about how we can be better and how we can learn more and how can we bring more to our, you know, community. So I think the biggest thing right now is being not in charge, but like trying to really help collaborate with the team so that they're not only happy, but that we're growing and we're providing more and we're flexible and forever changing.
Excellent. Next question. What do you specifically bring to this industry?
That's a good one. There are tons of placement companies out there and all, you know, probably doing a very good job. One of the things that I think sets us apart as a team is our clinical background, and me specifically is pretty much what I told you about that role of really understanding the care continuum. And, you know, at what point in this, you know, somebody's in the hospital, you know, what do they qualify for? What does that look like? What's the next step? How do I educate and anticipate for the next step or next level of care? What is the next level of care? And then what does that include? So I just think that understanding the care continuum helps families maybe just eliminate some of the unknown, provide some maybe confidence in the process. And then also being able to educate so that you don't get stuck in that circle of hospital, nursing home, hospital, nursing home, you know, or maybe never even making it home. So just really understanding all those levels of care and how to really maximize those services during the time you're there for best outcomes. Like, I really just think that's truly what my entire career has led to being able to offer others.
Yeah, wonderful. I think it does bring a lot of light to not only have been a caregiver, to go all the way through all the different levels of care, and know the ins and outs of what those are. That brings a ton of rich information for your clients. So.
Yeah, one of the things I didn't talk about was being an assisted living owner for a short period of time, and the gratitude that I've learned in that process. And I mean, it is a very sometimes thankless industry. It's, you know, it's just one of those things where caregivers are just, they're just going and going and going. And I think we just need to like bring a little bit more light to how great of a job they're doing and how hard of a job they have. And so being an owner of an assisted living facility and now helping people transition into that level of care, it's just eye-opening. And I can really offer people just like, hey, you know, let's set some expectations. Let's talk about this, because I've seen it from the inside out. So I don't know. I'm grateful for those moments. Obviously, being an owner was not for me. So it makes me just super grateful for the people who out there who are owners of these levels of care and all that goes into what that looks like and how I can educate families about those processes and what it looks like, you know, to be in that. So.
Yeah, wonderful. Firsthand. Wow, that's awesome. I know you didn't mention that.
I know. It's like, it doesn't really blow. It was like one side tier of everything that I've ever done, you know, like it, yeah. So,
well, we are glad you are sharing that experience with us too. Okay. So last question, and we're going to veer a little bit. So when you're not working with Maintain Me and helping older adults and their families, what things do you do in your life to bring you joy? What brings you joy?
That's a good question. I mean, honestly, I have two young ones at home. So I have a 4-year-old boy and an almost 2-year-old little girl. So a lot of my joy and time is spent around their firsts and going and doing things that they've never done before or helping them learn. And that almost always consumes my time. And I prefer it that way. I mean, one of the reasons I started Maintain Me was to be present with them and to raise them on my own and not have to rely so heavily on, you know, daycare 5 days a week and all of that. And so people know that when they call me, it's probably really noisy and fun because we're always just being rowdy over here. And so going to the park, doing all those things, getting outside, taking the kids to the lake, going hiking, just doing things with them is what my entire life revolves around.
That's so sweet.
It's busy. It's busy. It's loud. It's fun. It's how we like it.
Yep. And fleeting. So enjoy it while it lasts.
Oh yeah. It goes fast. People told me that, but I didn't really get it until you have your own. It really does go fast.
Yeah. Well, thank you. That concludes our questions. I hope that all of our watchers out there and our listeners are able to get a little better idea of who the Chelsea is behind the Chelsea Sweeney of Maintain Me.
Awesome. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Signing off.